In the fourth book of the Joy Chronicles, Paths of Freedom, Commander Ashtar, the supreme commander of the entire fleet of command ships, falls in love. Hello, I'm Joy Elaine, author of the Joy Chronicles, and it is my delight to share this love story with you. The woman who attracted his attention didn't start life as a woman. She began as an unimaginably huge crystal, until we persuaded her to embody, assisted by Laponi, our genie, in order to attend a special birthday party. She was reluctant to take on a humanoid form, but soon fell in love with being able to eat and walk around. She chose the name Ziz and confided in me that she was really looking forward to having sex. Luckily, she was entranced by Commander Ashtar, but they both were so bunglesome, that's her description, that the romance was a bit slow in getting started. You can imagine how never experiencing any kind of human relationship might make it difficult to begin one. And Ashtar, speaking with me privately, wondered if the 2 million years of estrangement from his previous partner was enough time to consider it was over. I assured him that was plenty of time. And after I told him Ziz was also interested in him and introduced them, their relationship took off. In no time at all, they wanted to be married. I did suggest to Ziz that she might be more graceful if she had Laponi remove her large lizard tail. She considered my suggestion for a few moments and then agreed that sex might be easier without it. It wasn't until later that I learned Ashtar loved her tail. He told me that he believed he fell in love with her the moment he saw it. Now, since I'm an SVH minister, I was able to honor their request to marry them. Ashtar began the ceremony by saying, "My lady Ziz, when hearts find one another, a spark of inner bliss is lit in the timeless flow of life, and there is a desire to make the hearts meet as ours have. I am grateful that you embodied, my dear. I am grateful that you are my everything, and that spark was lit within me, for I am a new man. I'm a better man for loving you." Ziz replied, "And I, though resistant to embodying, can in no means of my imagination find a life that I would exchange for this one. You are the destiny that I did not have an awareness of. Without embodying, to have found one another would have been impossible. I believe we do owe this communion of our hearts to the special emissary that joins us today. And so, I dedicate my life to the service of this council. I dedicate my life to my own inner bliss and joy, and through that I spill over onto you, my darling Ashtar, more than ever I could have dreamed possible before our eyes met." At the conclusion of their ceremony, they blasted off from the Joy Council in a replica of Flash Gordon's spaceship. Now, wouldn't you think that a couple capable of creating a baby in 6 hours in an energy nest located between their bodies would choose that way to birth a child? I would. Therefore, I was totally surprised when Ashtar shared with me that he and Ziz did it the old-fashioned way of Earth. He said, "It was incredibly messy, my dear, and not fulfilling at all. We had to practice over and over again." I managed to maintain a little composure as I asked him, "That really wasn't a drawback, was it?" He explained that initially he was not aware of the Earth way, but he finally made it take. He added, "We had Aton watch us several times to make sure we were doing it correctly." I mentioned that having someone watching might have been a challenge for a man in my Earth reality. Ashtar answered that they simply wanted to have the expertise and apply it correctly. Then he said, "Thank goodness I had the, what do you call this? The body part." The birthing of their children, triplet girls, was also unique. Nobody knew how long Ziz would be pregnant because a former crystal had never mated with a man of Ashtar's race. Actually, there had been only one other crystal in Body Otter Council, and she married a genie, but that's another story. Even though Ziz had only been pregnant for about 6 months, I became aware that the children were ready to be born. As a matter of fact, they were darned eager to be out. Tonas and I paid a visit to Ziz after the babies were born. She sounded sultry and perky as she greeted us. She also explained that since she was new to a body, she had no idea it was time for the release of the babies. I'm built a little different, I think, and I did not wish to make squirt of them. Not at all. And so I have 3 little girls. Ziz named them Daisy, Rosie, and Peaches, and Charlie calls Peaches Peachy Keen. We are grateful to you, Joy. They were kicking crazily, especially to music. I think they were wanting out, but we did not know they were done. I asked Ziz how the babies were born. She explained that a special doctor from Andromeda came, made a little envelope, and lifted the babies out into their arms. Charlie informed me that the babies can sit up and hold the ice cream cones I brought them. I think we waited too long, and pretty soon they will be crawling. Even though Ashtar explained that on his world the children are born with the ability to sit up, I was still agog. Tune into the next video for some information about a little man I met who had been living on Earth for over 120,000 years. Namaste.